What's good, people? Welcome to the first episode of The Rec. This is where we talk basketball. We are talking about basketball today. I've got a couple guests with me today. I've got Daniel from Eyes on the Ball. Dan, what's good, my bro?
Good, man. What are you saying? I hope you're good.
I'm good, man. Thanks for coming back on. We've got Richard. Richard, what are you telling me, bro? You good?
Yeah, driving the flesh. Long time coming.
Come. So thank you for saying thank you so much for coming on today. Oh, last but not least, I've got the Lonzo ball stand. Jay Extended, James Lewis. What are you saying, my bro?
Get off Lonzo's back, man. That's all I have to say. Just get off his back.
This brother came jersey up, ready to defend Lonzo, bro.
Just get off his back. Won't bow down. Won't bow down.
That guy should make mixtapes, bro. He's a mixtape. Anyway, so we're going to talk about the latest what's going on in the NBA so far. Guys, I want to start off with my team, Brooklyn Nets, and their premier point guard, Kyrie Irving. Now, we were talking a bit off camera, and James said, it's Kyrie. Like, with all the off-the-ball nonsense Kyrie has had, when you think about it, all the crap stuff he said, and all the things he's done, all the questionable stuff Kyrie Irving's done, right? Do you think Kyrie Irving is today's Dennis Rodman? Now, I know it sounds like a massive, massive claim, but I want to ask, is there truth in behind that? James, I'm going to go with you first. Why did you say that?
I said it just because of the kind of idea of just being misunderstood. I think a lot of people like to put down Kyrie as someone, as you said, you called it nonsense. Like, a lot of people will say he doesn't focus on the task at hand. It's his job to play basketball. Why is he not playing basketball? But one thing that I learned from the Last Dance documentary was that Dennis Rodman said a lot of key stuff about, like, I need to flow the way I need to flow. I need to process things the way I need to process things. I need to just get away sometimes. That's just me. But I'm going to put 100% on the court, which Kyrie has been doing. He's been balling out this season when he has been playing. It's only now the whole personal reasons and stuff like that. But when you call on Kyrie, he will show up. It's just right now you're in a situation where he's off the grid. So it's like, that's why I think that's that whole Dennis Rodman thing, because sometimes you couldn't reach Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman was very misunderstood, but one thing he did was always show up when you needed him to. So it's that kind of thing.
No, you know what? That's a decent comparison. Dan, I want to go with you. Do you agree alongside James, or do you just think Kyrie's just a menace, basically?
I think what it is, is I think the Rodman comparison is far-fetched. I think Rodman was very, very different. No, it is. I mean, Kyrie's been missing, like, the thing about Kyrie is, like, because me personally, one thing you will know if you follow my stuff and all of that is people think I'm a Kyrie hater, innit? Because I always criticize him. I say he needs to be better than what he is and all of that. And the thing is, he's just showing me right, like, but he's just showing me right with everything that he's doing, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? Off the ball and off the court. Like, fam, KD came to the Nets. He wanted to play with Kyrie the same way LeBron wanted to play with AD, the same way Kawhi wanted to play with Paul George. KD wanted to play with Kyrie. He said, all right, cool, let's come here. Let's win a chip here. Let's win a ring for this franchise kind of thing. And it's like, he's like, personal reasons. I've got this going on. But Steve Nash doesn't even really know what's going on. Before the season even started, he said that, I don't really see us having a coach. Like, little things like that. You just think, like, what are you saying? Like, this doesn't make sense. Do you know what I'm saying? The Rodman comparison, I'll cut him some slack. I think that's a bit far. Rodman was a nutcase. Like, what you need to deep is, I even think...
No, but not exact thing. He's not the exact Rodman.
Yeah, of course.
Rodman.
Today's Rodman.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Fair enough. If you're going to say that...
Yeah, because Rodman you couldn't get away with anything you've done.
In a PC world now.
Yeah. I think there's definitely undertones, 1,000% of Rodman. Yeah. And I just think that, boy, I don't even know where you go from here, because, like, the ceiling for the Nets is winning a chip. Do you know what I'm saying? And you're not winning a chip without chemistry. Yeah. And no matter how good you are, and if you don't play the required number of games it is to build up that chemistry, especially when KD's coming back off a long injury himself, then boy, it's gonna affect them in the long run.
Richard, I want to go to you, because I've known Richard since you were like 16, bro. And I know you like basketball. I played 2K with you, so I know the way you play 2K means you don't like Kyrie. So in this sense, yeah, I know you're a Ben Simmons type of point guard. That's a bit of you. So I want to ask you, bro, what do you feel about this Kyrie situation?
You know, I think if it was just the whole thing with him doing the whole party thing, I don't blame him, because obviously that's his family, this and that. You can't stop people from having their family gatherings in it. But the thing is that since Kyrie left LeBron, this guy's had one situation or the other every single season. He had a situation when he was in Celtics and he was always throwing teammates under the bus, this and that. Obviously, he didn't play in the playoffs in the first season, innit? But when he had that surgery where he missed the bench, when that could have happened after the playoffs and he could have given his team support, the next season he's throwing players under the things like when he was missing bare shots in the playoffs against the Bucks and they asked him, what can you do different? Oh, take more shots. Like, what does that even mean? What do you mean by
shoot?
No, shoot, in it, but he shows like lack of leadership. And then obviously the last season when KD was out and they're asking him and he's saying we need more pieces, this and that. Like, bro, KD hasn't even played there. And you're talking about more, like basically discrediting the players that are there. And then even with this season, if you're going to take time off due to personal reasons, I don't blame him, but you let all your teammates know and then you don't let your coach know that you're not taking time off. You get on coming. As I said, I think he's one of those players that because he thinks too much, he thinks he's right when he's not. And obviously, he's always talking about the social justice issues, this and that, which I understand. But you've got players like LeBron that always partake in them social justice issues as well. You can do both. Do you get where I'm coming from? You don't have to. And he's not going to go like, oh, if I'm not playing, don't pay me, this and that. You're still going to collect the paycheck, innit? So you can't just be taking time off in the saying that I'm woke, innit, and thinking you're justified, innit? Because Brooklyn didn't even want you if you want bringing KD with you, if you get what I mean. Yeah. And then KD is there by himself, and he's still balling out. Let's not, like, the Achilles is not affecting him. He's still going to do what he wants to do, innit? But as Daniel said, you still have to build chemistry. You're going to end up like the Clippers last season, whereas you haven't built enough chemistry. The end of the season comes, and where does it go wrong, innit? So, yeah, I think that's where it is with Kyrie. I mean, if Brooklyn can just dash him in that trade with for Harden and do like some straight shot.
I would, as a Brooklyn fan, I wouldn't though. The thing is with Kyrie, Kyrie is a person that just doesn't help himself. Bro. He doesn't help himself. As Daniel said it, like this guy just has so many. You want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but you can't. And at the same time, he just does so many off the field stuff where it's just like, shut up, man. Do you know what I mean? Like as much as you're my point guard, and I want you to be my point guard. It's not every day. And Kyrie just always seems like he's so controversial. Like doing the sage thing is fine, yeah, but why would you do that? Like, do you know what I mean? It's unnecessary.
Maybe I think he's warranted it now. I think he's warranted it now because of the person that he has.
It's just like cool. Look at the way. Look, this is a top 10 player. This is two top 10 players playing together.
Kyrie?
Well, you think Kyrie's top 10?
Not anymore.
No way.
No, back in the day. Okay, cool. Prime Kyrie, he was top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm not saying now, but prime time. So this is kind of the theory of two top 10 players in KD and Kyrie joining a team in the East, thinking, right, this is going to be like a LeBron. This is what we were thinking before they played, yeah. Because Kyrie even dropped 50 on his debut, and then because Kyrie had the leadership, as Richard said, he said the leadership problems. So I'm thinking, okay, as a Brooklyn fan, we've got KD who can be a leader. We've got Kyrie who can be a 1A, because Kyrie's not a 1, he's a 1A, bro. You know them house next to the house is the A, innit? Not like that. That's Kyrie. He's not. I don't see him as a 1. So I'm thinking, as a Brooklyn fan, we can replicate what's going on in the West, but he just doesn't help himself. Like, what's he doing now? He's gonna be out for 2 weeks. Like, bro, we were below 500 last night before we beat the Nuggets. We were below 500, bro. Bear in mind, this is the team that people were saying are gonna be top of the East or in and around there contending.
And on top of that, what you have to deep is as well, he's already missed 4 games. He's probably going to be out for the next week and a half because of COVID, the COVID protocols and all of that. So it's like, is it really worth it now? Like you have to ask yourself these questions.
One night, I'm not sure who we were against, but KD, it was a back-to-back we had, and KD got rested because obviously he's coming back from an Achilles. Like you got to manage his. Kyrie got rested too, and I'm thinking, like why? Bro, you had a whole year off. You were ready to go, my guy. Like, we did. You didn't have an Achilles injury. You went out for a year. Like, he got rested too. And I'm thinking, if a player wanted to play, why would they not play?
I think it's the coach. I think they've got, because of Steve Nash, they're taking advantage. Kyrie's taking advantage of having Steve Nash.
But I feel like, yes, I would have thought that if he didn't have, like, veterans around him.
But you wouldn't do that to Poch, though.
We've got the band. Yeah, no one would do that to Poch.
No, but that's the point. I think because
Yeah, but
you've
no
got such an inexperienced man coach.
Yeah, no, I get that, but not everyone's great properly.
I agree with him because, as he's saying, we don't need a coach, this and that. Everyone's a coach.
I do get it.
So.
I do get it. But
it's the perfect scenario for Kyrie Irving for what he wanted to do, because you've got someone like KD that will come in and just dominate games and get you wins, and then he can just. But he doesn't. The problem is with Kyrie, I don't get the ideology that he wants to win a ring. I don't get that, because he seems like he wants to play basketball, but live his life at the same time, like however he feels, because the team is not to just disappear.
So everyone else wants to live their life, and people do it differently.
But that's the thing. He doesn't care about the team. Not one point have I thought, maybe Kyrie's bought into the team. He hasn't. That's the thing. No, he's not a team player.
This guy's Celtic fan.
So true that he wants to work with.
No, he's not a team player though. Like the person he needs to apologize to is KD, because I bet they had lots of conversations with him.
Yeah, those brothers were FaceTime like they were moving to each other.
That's the thing. KD is serious about winning. KD's serious about winning, and he's been lied to.
Yeah, exactly. They might have been lotioning each other during the off-season, bro. IG live.
Them KD should have known what she was getting into.
No, but he does. He does. And the fact that KD does, and still, because KD wants to win a ring, right? KD wants to bring one day. He doesn't need Golden State to win a ring. So the fact that he trusted, I feel like, do we give him the benefit of the doubt because he trusted KD? And if there's one person that you want their trust, it's KD, right? KD trusts because he knows Kyrie, right? He knows the off-the-ball nonsense he gets. He knew what he was getting in bed to, KD, and he still got in bed to it. So I feel like he does. I feel like there's chemistry between them two.
I mean, but you say that, but look, KD's proven he's unstable too. Like all it takes is one little situation.
What are we doing? Unstable Nets, blood.
No, but
I don't think KD cares too tough.
No, I think he cares. No,
I'm talking about the Kyrie situation. Like, as long as you're there for the playoffs, you do what you want to do.
We'll make the playoffs, right? You need like below 3.
No, of course they'll make the playoffs.
To get to the playoffs.
Making the playoffs isn't why they moved to the Nets, though. Do you know what I'm saying? It's about winning the ring. Like, look at. As much as I hate everything Harden's doing with the Rockets, what he said in the interview, which I took and is true, is this team can't beat the Lakers, and that's who won the chip. Like, if my team can't beat the Lakers, what's the point of me even playing? Do you know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing. Like, KD needs Kyrie to beat the Lakers if they want any chance of beating the Lakers. And like it's about the chemistry, like I was saying with the Clippers. Look at what happened with the Clippers. The Clippers thought they could load manage their way through the season, and then when it gets to playoff time, they can literally gel. It don't work like that. And I would even make the argument that the Nets defensively, and what I said, they're trash. They're actually trash.
Bro, listen, I could have told you that from day dot. Look who's our coaching staff. We have the Phoenix Suns starting the 6, bro. We have my dad. Double offense, no defense. Come on, man. I could have told you that for free, blood. We're not going to be a defensive team. Man, say KD and bro. That's what we are, bro. We're honestly KD, Kyrie, and
if you deep it on the floor, the best defender is KD.
Yeah, bro. No, but KD's an elite defender, though.
He's not a defender.
No, he's a defender.
I feel like his defending's underrated.
I wouldn't say he's an elite defender, but but KD, in my opinion,
season with the Warriors, correct me if I'm wrong, he was up there in the defensive player of the year. I think he was up there in the chat. His second season with the Warriors, because he was averaging like 2 blocks a game, bro.
But he isn't. He was never the best defensive player on the floor for the Warriors, though. Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala.
But the second season of the Warriors, his defensive rate. I remember. I can't even quote Skip Bayless, but I remember Skip Bayless.
But my point basically is, on every possession, especially in the playoffs now, let's talk about the playoffs. Would you want KD guarding the best player on the opposing team? The answer is no. You wouldn't. You wouldn't.
I think he's good enough. I won't lie. I think he's good enough.
No,
he's good enough.
Of course, every of these top guys, these top caliber guys, the LeBrons, the ADs, the KDs, they're obviously good enough. But the point is, you don't want them guarding the best guy every single night. That's why every team has a defensive specialist on their team. It's just like LeBron. LeBron takes the hardest assignment sometimes in the last 2 minutes, but do you want LeBron guarding the best guy for the whole game? No way. It's the same thing. Coming back off the Achilles as well, man. But yeah.
Well, speaking about, I remember you mentioned Houston and Harden. Let's go on to James Harden. I do kind of agree with you, bro. I feel like Harden needs to get out there. It's gone toxic now. Even John Wall was quoted saying that we're only... What are they? They're like 9
games. 9
games. Yeah, and my man wants out. But I do agree with you. He's seen this team and said, "Nah, we can't beat the Lakers." Do you actually believe Harden now that he wants to win a ring? Like,
He always wanted to win a ring. He always wanted to win a ring.
No, but I remember you saying on the pod that he's just there for vibes, bro.
No, but I think I was hard on him. I can't lie. People
yes,
I don't like numbers, man. Any man that's getting too much numbers, I think, you don't want to win. You don't want to win a championship like Giannis. I don't like Giannis either. But I've realized that with Harden, he just wants. With Harden, he understands that he's fed up of watching his team lose. He's fed up of especially the bubble and stuff like that. Because you were in that pressure situation, and then you leave with nothing. It's gonna hurt you. And the thing is, he's not getting any younger. He needs a ring, because otherwise, yeah, you won MVP and stuff, but what is your legacy? All those chances, the near miss against the Warriors, I feel he needs to leave. But the thing is, once you leave, even if he does leave, he needs to get that ring. Because then why did you leave? You should have just stayed and kept on getting beaten by the Lakers and stuff like that. It's ring or bust. He has to go to the Nets. No, not the Nets. He has to go to 76ers.
I agree with half of that, but I don't agree with that fully, because I think there's been too much put in a situation, whereas if a superstar doesn't win a ring, your career is kind of a flop, if you get what I mean. If everybody could win a ring, they would have. You look how many players can actually win a ring as the best player on the team? In the league right now, you're probably looking at 4: Kawhi, KD, Steph, LeBron in it. So I don't. If he doesn't win a ring, I don't think it's the end of the world for him. If you get where I'm coming from, he's still probably one of the best offensive players the league has ever seen, one of the best scorers the league has ever seen. There's not many people that can do what he can in terms of scoring on offensively. So I don't think it's the end of the world for him if he doesn't win a ring.
What's crazy? What's crazy though is just to quickly go back though. It just got released that Kyrie was furious at the Nets for not giving him more input on their head coach hiring, and was not in favor of Steve Nash, and also his relationship with KD right now is very distant. That just dropped 5 minutes ago now from Hoop Central. Thomas CD.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
There you go. So chemistry problems
already.
Chemistry problems. Oh, you heard it here first. The unstable Nets, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
The unstable Nets, bro. But we're gonna quickly go on, because I know, James, you want to talk about Lonzo. I know you want to talk about Lonzo. So tell me, because right now the streets are saying Lamelo is better than Lonzo. So do you agree that Lamelo is better than Lonzo? Because bro, he took his record, youngest person to drop a triple-double. What are you saying about Lonzo? I know you're in a Lonzo tee right now.
No, Zion.
Zion.
Yeah, Zion.
All right, go on.
But you gotta be honest. I watched them crazy. Me and the Bull family stands. We watched them. Right now, Lamelo is better than Lonzo. You can't run from that. At the end of the day, it is what it is. But it's not to say that Lonzo can't still come and have a great season. There just needs to be a lot of mental changes from Lonzo. The problem is Lonzo is happy finishing with 5 points. He's happy with the game passing him by as long as the team wins. And that's great. It's always about the wins first, but he doesn't have an aggression to get to the basket. A lot of his shots, sometimes they seem forced. Sometimes it's I'm just going to chuck the free. He's not thinking he's not in rhythm. That's the problem with Lonzo. He never feels like he's actually in a rhythm.
Is this because he's not good enough to influence the game? Surely the best players want to influence the game as much as they can and score as much as they can.
No, but at the end of the day,
that's a problem. He is good enough, but he's not doing it, which is the mentality thing, I think.
But where's the evidence that he's good enough?
No, because his skill set. Because let's be honest,
you could give his rookie year.
Nah, man.
James, look, let's understand something, innit?
How many years is he pro now?
This is his fourth year.
Hey,
fourth year.
This is his fourth year. Bro, deep it. This year, yeah, fair enough, he's a role player, but I look at these things. I don't like looking at box score. I like it because this is what I was chatting to Mo about this, and it's watching the games actually tells you a lot of things, innit? Bro, Lonzo, yeah, is a role player now for the Pelicans. He doesn't even start, but he is averaging the same. Most nights,
he gets good minutes.
Him and Bledsoe, he gets enough minutes in it. But the fact that he's not getting the same number of minutes he was getting last year, and he's still averaging the same amount of turnovers. It means for me that it doesn't make sense. He's not getting to the basket enough. James, what do we talk about in the offseason? We said we want to see him become a better three-point shooter.
Yeah.
Statistically, he's worse. In the first 10 games, he's been worse. Then
The thing is, he's too robotic in his game. It's kind of like quick pass, like you know those passes that he throws to Zion for those alley-oops, like they look like they're great, but it's just forced. It is legit, like
but all
Zion's
of those are highlights.
there.
That's what we were just talking about watching the game. All of those are just highlights. Forget even Lonzo being better than Lamelo. Like, is Lonzo even top 5 on his team? And that's the worrying thing. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, man said, forget your boy, bro. Hey, man said, on to the next one,
But I understand. But you gotta be
delete your Lonzo stocks, bro. We'll put it in Lamelo, man.
No. I'll never delete my Lonzo stocks.
So are we taking
Lamelo?
Listen, let's say we're all betting men, right? Who are you putting your stocks in right now? Lamelo or
Lamelo?
Are you mad? I wouldn't even put one stock into Lonzo.
That's harsh.
I wouldn't put one.
Lonzo's done out.
Oh, he's not
going to fade away to the G League, or would he just?
Nah.
The thing is, he's such a brand. He will always be in the league.
He's still a good defender. He's still on ball. He's still a good on ball defender. So I do.
Yeah. And James is a stand in it, so he won't see. I don't blame him for being us. I like the fact that you like Lonzo.
I see his faults.
You know what? Everyone stands there, and the thing is, I get standing the player. Everyone.
Yeah.
Like I won't tell you who I stand because you might get onto me, and it's another sport. But even still, like I feel like if you just give this guy the right environment, he'll thrive. Well, so I get it. Well,
it is Lamelo.
Do you have enough, like, because Richard was talking about skill set, but even me, I don't believe in all that skill set BS. I have to see it. Do you have enough faith in his ability to give him the perfect conditions? No.
I've actually brought down his ceiling. I've brought down his ceiling.
So what's his ceiling? Quickly, what's his ceiling?
I think he's just going to be like what's it called? He's going to have like a 15-year career, but I can't see him being an all-star.
He is a bit mad, you know. He's not going to be an all-star.
No, he's just going to go. He's just going to be a decent player. He's going to go.
He's going to do a skill challenge, brother.
I just can't see it.
I think he'll make like 2 or 3. He'll make like 2 or 3.
But all-star teams.
It's hard to get all-star team.
2 or 3.
Do you know how hard it is to be an all-star?
He's in the rising star.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he'll have
And being in the rising stars.
Yeah, I got Air Latvia on.
Come on, man.
On the rising star, bro.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I got my guy rolling.
Nah. I think his ceiling is literally a freak season where he's maybe the second guy on a team where there's a bit like the Chris Middleton thing. That's not even a ceiling. That's his sky. That's his sky.
Is his peak a run like Terry Rozier had in the playoffs? Deep
something like that. Yeah.
I don't even think he's going to do that in a series. That's what's mad. That's what's mad.
You're better off talking about Lamelo.
And the reason why, Tony, the reason why that is the case as well is because Lonzo just isn't the scorer Terry is. Like, Terry can still score. He can drive to the basket.
Bro,
he can do his thing.
It's that at the end of the day, like this is one thing I don't like about sports, because you can have so many different aspects in sports, but the primary objective of most sports is to score more than your opponent. Like, that is your number one aim every time you go into a court, a field, wherever. Like, you score more than your opponent.
Have you seen Lamelo score?
You're not good at that.
Lamelo's
you're not in the right environment, my guy. I'm so sorry. I've always said it. As much as you hate people that stat pad or do what, if they have especially basketball, if you have the ability to score, you can go far, bro. I've seen some whack ass point guards in the league have the ability.
But that's why people talk about Lamelo more than they talk about Lonzo.
If you have the ability to score, bro, you can play basketball for a very long time. I promise you. And
remember, Lamelo can score. That's the thing.
Maybe. And even Lonzo, bro. Lonzo's drops. He's shown glimpses. I give you that. Because what's his career?
Nah, he ain't done nothing. Yeah,
he's a mentality thing for him.
I've seen Harris LeVert drop 50. Nah, I'm sorry, not in this NBA. So sorry, bro. I'm taking my Lonzo stocks out.
But Lamelo's the truth. Lamelo's the truth.
Lonzo won't get a 50-point performance anytime soon.
But Lamelo could.
Definitely.
Lamelo could. And I've seen Harris LeVert drop 50. Yeah. Sorry, man. Sorry.
Was it in the bubble?
Yeah, it was in the bubble. Regardless,
they kept ISOing.
They didn't have a big game this season as well.
No, but
I've seen people worse than Kyrie LeVert drop 50, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but you need a
Kyrie LeVert's not dead though.
No, Kyrie LeVert's not dead. If you have the ability to score, you have the ability to score, bro. It's as simple as that. But guys, we have got to wrap it up here. Daniel, thank
Wait,
you.
sorry,
so
before
much.
you wrap it up, I just have one more agenda to run.
Quickly.
Because obviously I'm a big Westbrook stan, innit?
No, bun this guy. Bun it. Bun it.
Wait. Let
Okay,
me
you
just
got
finish.
20 seconds. Bro.
Obviously, when the Rockets traded in a minute, everyone was talking about how this new look Rockets. We've got John Wall, better playmaker, high IQ, this and that. Obviously, seeing James Harden leave now, the Rockets are going to crumble in it.
Yeah, but look at the Wizards.
Yeah, but the Wizards are
The
worse.
Wizards are the worst team in the
The
league.
Wizards are worse.
But I've got nothing to do with the Wizards. I'm not even a Wizards fan. I've got
No, but you said you're a Westbrook stan.
Standing clouds your judgment.
Yep.
Richard, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this off the episode.
This has been the first episode of The Rec. Like, share, subscribe on Twitter. Like, share, subscribe, crazy. On Twitter, follow us at the.zoneldn. On Insta at the.zone_LDN. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. Peace.